Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on X Twitter at Movies TV Mad and on Instagram and on Threads at Movies TV Mad X. A very warm welcome to Sunday's edition of the Movies TV Mad Daily and basically my review of The Empire of Death. This is the end of the worst season in New Who history. From 2005 to 2024, this is the worst season, and this must be the worst finale. I keep on using the phrase, the empty vase. Millie Gibson has been done dirty. It's like RTD took her to Pornhub Studios, gave her to 6 guys to do her dirty, then just left her on the floor gasping for breath. He did nothing with her. Creatively, fucking nothing. It's a disgrace you bring a vibrant, beautiful, talented young actor to a show like Doctor Who and you do nothing with her at the end of the day. She's probably going to show up a couple more times next season. But the rumours about her not being a main character, as I said, were true, and they lied. They lied about her season 2, her season 2 role. She's not going to be in every episode. Basically, the new one, which we've already met, will be the new companion. But a lot of you must be thinking, is it worth coming back? So they failed Millie Gibson. I mean, the resolution of her mystery box is fucking outrageous. Outrageous! There's nothing mysterious. It's about family and the real world. Wow! I mean, you go back to Bad Wolf and Rose Tyler. I am the Bad Wolf. I bring myself so I can help you, whatever she says, right? She's still Rose. She's still this wonderful young Earth girl. But she has a purpose. She's not, look, in the end of the day, Ruby isn't the key to everything, which is probably good. Her mother isn't the key to everything. So what the fuck was the point in that? It was a horrible resolution. And then you've got this villain whose name fucking escapes me, who's literally just a fucking voice changer. He's empty. He has no development. He's not an interesting fucking villain. Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof. Who let the dogs out? It's absolutely outrageous. And I am not surprised by this. They teased Susan. It came to nothing. Why hasn't she ever been in New Who? I've said this before, but anyway, it's not totally pants. There's some brilliant emotional moments for Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor. Ncuti does the best that he can. There's shouting, there's crying. But here's another problem with Gatwa. He isn't Tennant. He isn't Eccleston. He isn't Smith. He isn't Capaldi. He can't bring those emotional levels. And maybe we're missing something. Maybe RTD's original Who was like this, but because those actors were so good, they could garnish the emotions when actually nothing really was going on. But no, it was better. He was telling stories. It was great. This is a 61-year-old showrunner who's running on fucking empty. There's nothing here. It's a disgrace, everyone. It's an utter disgrace. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. At the end of the season and the end of the episode, it was pants. So he brought back these gods, or this god. Now I don't know as much about classic Who as some others do, but this wasn't exciting. This wasn't exciting. I don't know what this villain was like originally. The premise is that this dog has been hanging on outside the TARDIS and has travelled everywhere where the Doctor's travelled. So it's the Doctor's fault. So they do this whole thing where the Doctor feels it's his fault. Great, that's great. That's great kind of development, interesting. Maybe you think that the Doctor wouldn't want to travel for a while. Maybe you think that maybe he wants to stay and work with UNIT for a while. I don't know. Maybe the Christmas episode could be set at UNIT because the Doctor feels that he's done so much damage that maybe he should take a time out. And then he gets his mojo back after the Christmas episode. That would be interesting. But no, nothing. It was obvious what was going to happen once Ruby found her normal, ordinary human mother. Stay. And they they tried to make it emotional. But it wasn't emotional. Because they undercooked Ruby's character, not one person gave a shit. It was a little bit tear-jerky, but it wasn't effective enough. And in the end, nobody cares. There's so many people on Twitter right now trying to cope. Oh, people didn't get what they expected, so they're unhappy. No! I don't care if this character didn't come back or that character didn't come back. And we need to talk about something else. If you're not going to bring back the Cybermen, or the Daleks, or the Master, then you need to give us a fucking villain with depth, who's interesting, a new Doctor Who villain. But nothing. This villain was crap. This villain gave us nothing. I blow sound out, everybody dies, the universe is dying over and over again. Well, whoop-de-doo. The music was great by Murray Gold, of course. But what you're seeing here is a lack of creativity. Every time you hear an argument about the culture war, or about the LGBTQ community, or black people, or whatever, you take away from the conversation of the lack of creativity. And that's what RTD was trying to do. If he gets everyone arguing about representation and inclusion and cultural politics, then no one will notice that he's creatively running on empty. And I saw it. I saw the red flags. Now in Starbeast, I didn't see the red flags. I was upset with the male presenting Time Lord bullshit. That was it. And the way he red-pilled Donna's story, I thought that was disgusting. But I thought, okay, I enjoyed it. That was entertaining. It was when I saw the second episode and the third episode, The Giggle, where I knew. Wild Blue Yonder and The Giggle is where I really realised that he was nicking from old New Who and recycling and not doing very, very much. It was nothing. And after The Giggle, I knew we were in fucking trouble. I kind of liked Ncuti's introduction. I thought he brought some life to that episode. Maybe that was the idea, to make Tennant not look so grand and Ncuti as the new Doctor to be, yeah, could have been exciting. But then we got the Christmas episode, bland, and then Space Babies, even blander, and we went on and on and on. The Devil's Called could have been a great episode, a great musical, masterpiece. With, a genius, a musical genius like Murray Gold. No! There's always a twist in the end. Well, whoop-de-doo. To nothing. Absolutely nothing. This season, this finale, have been the empty vase. This is a man running on fucking empty. So all you lot talking about the culture war, about the colour of the Doctor's skin, you're doing exactly what RTD wants you to do. Because he doesn't want you to talk about how he is running on empty creatively. And the evidence has been there, as I say, since Wild Blue Yonder. This creative has been a hero of mine. He heroically brought back Doctor Who in such a fantastic way. It's unbelievable how he brought back Doctor Who. I'm never taking that away from him. His first 4 seasons, 5 years, was amazing. Moffat did a great job. But now, it's Chibnall that's looking better than RTD2. Because even the Chibnall era can't go down as badly as this did. Because Chibnall had a vision. That vision may have not been your cup of tea. His ideology may not have been your cup of tea. You may not have liked the Timeless Children. But he had a vision. His master was great. His companions were absolutely light years ahead of Ruby Sunday. They were undercooked as well, but Jesus Christ. Ruby makes Yaz look like the greatest Doctor Who companion ever. And I never hated Yaz. I love the actor who played her. I thought her and Jodie had this great kind of relationship behind the scenes, and only if that kind of banter was used on screen. But in the end, their parting was beautiful and sweet, and it was okay. And I love the power of the Doctor. But at least Chibnall had a vision. He had a vision. He had an idea. In season 11, he wanted to have more companions. He wanted to bring back the vibe of William Hartnell's first season. He was trying to make the pacing slower. Probably not the best ideas, in the 20s. in the 2020s, should I say. But he tried. He had an idea. He knew what he wanted to do. I found it all kind of underwhelming most of the time, but it was his vision. He cooked, he did what he wanted to do, and he moved on. What's worse about RTD2 and what Davies has done, he doesn't have a vision. He doesn't have a vision. And he's selling you absolutely nothing. What's this? What's that? He does it on his Instagram. He's taking the fucking piss. It meant nothing. He teased Ruby's story. Who's the mother? She's wearing a fucking hood. Oh, we can't see her face. Who could she be? An ordinary human woman. It's a bit like watching The Last Jedi, isn't it? Oh, you're not important. You're not, Rey, you're not important. Nobody's important. Everyone can use the Force, Anyone can cook. But this is worse. This is worse. Because this is a man who's delivered so much. And this time, he's delivered absolutely nothing. He can sit there and put the fans on trial and try everything to distract from the fact that he's running on empty. He created New Who, and now he's destroying it. Because this season of Doctor Who leaves the show in a worse place than the Chibnall era. Because as I say, Chibnall had a vision. And Chibnall's ratings are better than RTD2 as well. And, but people have been so busy on the political discourse and the ideology discourse that they haven't been focusing on the lack of creativity. I don't really know how we can spend the next 20 minutes talking about an episode that had absolutely nothing. Let's look at Ruby's adopted mother. Another empty vase. Do you remember Jackie Tyler? Do you remember Donna's mother? I thought that, what's her name? Martha Jones, her mother was cool, but the rest of her family didn't have much of a personality. But you had Pete Tyler, you had Jackie Tyler. It was a great family unit. You had Mickey Smith, the boyfriend. This character has nothing. Is she straight? Is she gay? Is she bi? I thought they might do something there. They did nothing. There was nothing. Ruby Sunday got nothing. Millie Gibson got nothing. It's insulting. You know how much respect I have for Millie Gibson. And she was basically, excuse me, fly or an ant on my leg, no good. But basically she was brought in for what she looks like. As she was leaning over the TARDIS with a very low cut top, I knew what she was brought here for. This is the industry that talks about us men sexualizing women and talking about the male gaze. A gay showrunner literally brought in a young actor so we can ogle on her. And I didn't do that. But it's disgusting. They did nothing with her. How can you be excited for the future? There's nothing there. As I say, there are little pieces in the episode that are interesting, as I said, like the Doctor blaming himself for all this happening because it's not his fault. Oh, I travelled around, I thought it was fun. But as I say, they could have done something going forward with the Christmas episode. But they had no consequences. And basically, we can use death to bring back life. So, zero consequences. There's no consequences, is there? No consequences. They die, they come back to life, nothing matters, it's irrelevant. Why the fuck did I sit through people dying? What was the point? Oh, and then they try and make the Doctor dark. I'm going to have to be a monster, so he kills the villain. Oh, that's what we think. He's probably out there surfing the waves of time and space, right? Please don't bring him back. He was crap. It was a joke. It was terrible. As I say, there are bits I liked. I thought Bonnie Langford was amazing. I liked the bit on the bike. That was fun. Ultimately, that's it, really. There's nothing. And when you see the thing is with Ncuti Gatwa, when you see him in Sex Education, he's good at what he does. But this role, is far too much for him. And no, it's not racism. Because you could have brought in other black guys to play this role with more acting gravitas. You can see him struggling to reach the level. It's just no good. He cannot reach those emotional levels. They do the fake crying out of one eye. I hate that. I like to see tears out of both eyes as an actor myself because he doesn't look genuine. But basically, he has no gravitas. Doesn't mean he's an untalented young man. It means this was too much for him. He wasn't good casting. And RTD's casting has always been great with Doctor Who. So why was this young man cast in the first place? I'll allow you to come to your own conclusions. I'm sure Ncuti Gatwa is a lovely young man, and he's trying hard. But he's not the Doctor. He doesn't feel clever like the Doctor. And it's a damn shame for him, because when you bring someone who can't reach that gravitas, it makes them look untalented, like a bad actor. He's not. He was great in Sex Education, playing himself. And he was brought in, I think, to kind of say to Gen Z, hey, come with us. And I believe the reason, like, older villains weren't brought in, which is fine if you want to give them a rest, as long as you replace them with brilliant new villains, which he didn't. At least Moffat would bring in brilliant original new monsters and villains. RTD hasn't done that. There's been nothing here. There's been nothing. I've never seen a creative running on empty. I've watched shows for 10 seasons. I watched Supernatural for 15 seasons, and I never saw anyone running on empty on those shows like this. And it's a shame because, as I say, we could have had the creative showrunner of Happy Valley and Sarah Lancashire as the Doctor, and we could have got something new and fresh. Again, I don't care if you don't want a female Doctor. Character that can regenerate into any humanoid, fine. Fine. No problem. But instead he blocked that and came back himself from his own hubris. I don't hate RTD, I love him. He's been an inspiration. What he did bring back the show was great. But I can't sit there like some of you are doing and kiss his ass and pretend that everything in the garden is rosy. Because it's not. It's unacceptable. It will be unacceptable if I did it. It will be unacceptable if you did it. It will be unacceptable if anyone did it. If a straight showrunner did it. I don't give a shit. He knows. He knows he's running on empty. He knows. If you think he thinks he's being clever, well, maybe he does think he's being clever. But the worst thing in this season and the specials that he's done, he's repeating his old lines. The human race, yeah. Is there anything more beautiful than an ordinary woman saving the world? You've done it, mate. You've done it. And we're in 2024 now. And it doesn't work. The RTD way looks cringe now. It doesn't work. There will be a few people who would have enjoyed that. Maybe the ratings will come up to 5-6 million. I don't know, and they'll be saying success. You can say what you want. For me personally, I didn't enjoy that. I'll be back. It's like getting popcorn to a car accident and saying, oh yeah, this looks interesting. But yeah, you're just going to see a death note. This is it. Because if he didn't have any ideas here, how is he going to have any more ideas going forward? He's also threatened more diverse writers, which means he'll be writing less episodes. Maybe that's a good thing. But he's not going to hand over creative, narrative control to anyone. And when I say he's threatening more diverse writers, because we know the diverse people they bring in are not talented. There's diverse people out there that can write. These fuckers just don't fucking employ them. I want to know what you think of this episode, because I was hugely disappointed. As I say, there was some emotion. It was okay in bits and pieces, but it was very slow paced. It's not exciting. It's not good sci-fi. Basically, there's nothing here. It's a god, it's a demon, it's a dog, it's a voice changer, the Doctor. It's just nothing happening. I like the scene with the woman with the baby, with the dead baby. That was interesting. That was okay, but it doesn't save the episode. The thing is, the further you get down to the episode, the worse it gets. And his resolution takes away anything that you like from this episode. And as I say, you're going to get the Shields doing videos. Oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, Ruby, she met her mother. Yeah, this ain't fucking EastEnders. This ain't reunions with Davina McCall or whatever it's called, right? This is fucking Doctor Who. You didn't flesh this character out. You lied and teased the audience that they were going to get an exciting revelation. I thought it hasn't been great this series, but maybe we'll get a great reveal for Ruby. Not that she's the key to everything. Maybe Susan was her mother. Maybe another character that used to be around was her mother. Or something interesting, magical, to say, wow, this is emotional, this is great. And the Doctor can hug his granddaughter. But no. And before you start, that's not why I'm not happy with RTD2. I'm saying there were ways of making this interesting. But basically, from her introduction, from Millie Gibson's Ruby Sunday's introduction in the church on Ruby Road, by the end of the episode, I thought, we've got a problem here. They're not using her. They're not directing her properly. They're not using her properly. Her dialogue's terrible. She has no depth. She only has one reaction. And it's not Millie's fault. Go on YouTube and watch her on Corrie. She is powerful, my boys and girls. Powerful. Millie Gibson's an amazing actor. And she's been done dirty. And it makes me cross. Because they keep on talking about supporting woman and representation, and they did this young woman. They got a beautiful young white girl to come in just because of her looks. And they didn't allow her to use her talents as an actor. I didn't do that. You did that. The same people who lecture us, and then you do that. Again, a gay showrunner did this. Think about that for a minute. Now, this finale had absolutely nothing. Nothing. Bad villain, undercooked doctor, undercooked companion. As I say, Bonnie Langford was the best thing about it. In fact, maybe Bonnie Langford should have been the full-time fucking companion. Because actually, the only fucking person in this entire fucking episode to have any fucking gravitas was Bonnie fucking Langford. She was amazing. I enjoyed watching her when she was taken over. And it was obvious the Doctor knew. So fucking obvious. We've been here rerunning again what he's done before. But Bonnie Langford is the best thing about this episode. And I apologise to Bonnie for not bigging her up earlier on. I'm sure you won't agree with the other shit I'm saying. I don't care. Just because you're important and famous and I respect you and love you and I loved you in this episode doesn't mean I'm going to kiss the arses of your other industry people. I'm sorry. I'm a viewer. I pay my license fee. I have every right to have my opinion. And I'm having my opinion. End of story. There was nothing here. There's opinions. And you can say no one's got a right or wrong opinion. Here it's pretty obvious that this guy has been running on empty since he came back. And maybe he can do great individual dramas away from Doctor Who, and that's different. But this was bad. Because he tried to garnish that he had a big plan. He had a shiny brand new Doctor, attractive young Doctor, with nothing. He had an attractive new companion who's nothing. He did nothing. Think back to his first season when he brought the show back. We had Christopher Eccleston. This guy was in Crackle. He's one of the biggest actors in the world. He was in Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas fucking Cage. He had Billy Piper. Billy fucking Piper. He brought Captain Jack Harkness. That was very exciting. New characters, new creatures. One of still the best Dalek episodes I've ever seen, which he didn't write, by the way. It was revolutionary. This, my friends, wasn't fucking revolutionary. Was it? Stop coping. Stop coping. Stop fucking lying. Sit down and look at the camera and be fucking honest with your viewers. And don't tell them it was great and you love this and you love that and that Easter egg and that Easter egg. Oh, he mentioned the Ood. Great. I love the Ood. Another great creation. What happened to great creativity? RTD. Because it's not there anymore. What is there in this episode? What is there in the end? As someone who's supposed to be talking about this episode in detail, I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing here. You know, that end scene with the family, with Ruby's family, it's nothing. They're not classic, interesting characters. They're fucking boring. He did nothing with them or with Ruby. And that's the end of Ruby. I'm sure she'll turn up once or twice, as I say, like Martha Jones in season 4. But they did her dirty. I don't know what happened. I don't know why she, well, it's obvious. He wanted a more inclusive companion. But he thought, let's not rock the boat too much. We better have a white companion right for the first series. And then we'll go full, then we'll bin the white girl. And then we'll, then we'll be very inclusive, even more inclusive. So I kind of liked this full-time companion we're getting in that third Moffat episode. I don't think she's playing the same character. Let's see. We will see. Maybe RTD will do more work, character work on her because she's diverse. Because that's how their minds work. Although the more diverse they are, the less cooking they get. That's how it seems to me these days. But right now, I don't sit here hopeful for the future of Doctor Who. Because the showrunner, the man who's done so much for Doctor Who, has come back to splat it dead. And it's sad. I mean, I must admit, when they did the Ruby reveal, and it was just an ordinary woman, because you kind of hope, even though you expect, look, I didn't expect them to go that. Say, oh, look, she's an ordinary human being, and that's it. And why did it keep on snowing? Why, when Ruby touched the Time TV thing, why was it only showing her? Because of her memories, I get it, but why? What? So she's not special. There's nothing there. As I say, there are some emotional little tidbits there that are good. But this isn't good Doctor Who, this isn't good television, this is not good entertainment. This is a man recycling his old work. And not very well. This is lazy, my friends. This is creative terrorism. This is creatively bankrupt. And no one can say any different. Show me the originality here. Show me what's interesting. Oh, it's so good that she was just an ordinary woman. It's not. This is Doctor Who. This is sci-fi. You don't put a fucking magician on the stage and the audience go, can we see you pull a rabbit out of the hat? Oh no, I thought I'd just take the rabbit out of the cage. But you're a fucking magician. Oh no. This is much better to be real, isn't it? Magic's wrong. Do you get me? Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, there was some real stuff. Rose Tyler is a real person. His other companions are real people. But they were interesting. This isn't interesting. Nothing here is interesting. His doctor isn't interesting because he's undercooked. And when you undercook things, you can put the most attractive, vibrant people in front of the camera, but it isn't going to work. Because ultimately, your scripts have no life to them. So those vibrant people are not vibrant anymore. It's like Bradley Walsh. There's no vibrant character there. You know, Chibbers somehow made Bradders boring. How do you do that? How do you make Bradley Walsh boring? I still think it's the greatest achievement ever to make Bradley Walsh boring. But going back to this, and my final assessment, RTD2 is nothing but a bunch of recycling, an empty shell and an empty vase, and a disgrace to the good name of Doctor Who. And RTD after season 2 should go and let someone with more passion and more ideas for Doctor Who come in. But he's already saying he wants to do season 3. Ncuti, if RTD stays, will do at least 3 seasons. Maybe, probably. 2 or 3. But it certainly isn't working. And you know what the problem is? They've pretty much already made that 3rd series. So it's already dead on arrival, isn't it?